there has been buzz about Chris Watts possibly being attacked in prison. And so I pulled up some sites where I saw this, and we're going to look at it. All right, so let's see. Chris Watts has been attacked in prison. So I don't know if this has been confirmed, because I don't see any news sources saying that this is confirmed. So let's just see what people are saying. Okay.
Hey y'all, it's Bella, and I'm back with another video. And this video is kind of an interesting update to the Watts case that I've been covering for quite a bit now. So regarding Chris Watts, there's word or rumor that he has been attacked in prison, y'all. This is brand new information. I did get this from another TikToker. I'll try to put their name in the comments, but he posts content regarding prison, and he was, I guess, in prison at one point, and he covered this case and stuff like that. And he did say that there has been inside information that Chris Watts was attacked in prison. I believe this was either yesterday or today. I'm not exactly sure. From what I heard in the video, he was being transferred, or he was in a transfer state. And in this situation, he was more susceptible to being attacked by other inmates. Now, mind you, Chris Watts has been in protective custody for quite some time. So he has been transferred to another state, the Dodge Correctional Facility. He's not in Colorado anymore. He's in a whole different state. And he's also being put into solitary. So usually most of the time he's by himself in maximum security part of the prison. So he's not around other inmates 99% of the time. I'm guessing this one particular time he was being transferred. Now, I did hear about renovations happening at the Dodge Correctional Facility. So this honestly makes a lot of sense. The fact that he's being transferred at some point during these renovations or whatever the case may be makes sense. So I'm thinking that's why. But from what I heard, you guys, there was word that, it was Chris Watts that was being transferred. And at the transfer point, according to what I heard in the video, this is a dangerous place for inmates to be, especially inmates like Chris Watts that have committed crimes to children and women. And at the end of the day, he got dealt with. Now, this is an interesting update, you guys. I was not expecting this to happen. I mean, from what I've heard, he's been in one cell by himself, no people around him at all. And to hear about this happening, honestly, I'm not mad about it at all. Now, I have not found any news articles or anything of that nature regarding this. So that might be coming out soon. I'm not exactly.
Okay. So, yes, he is. Last I had heard, and this was just before I got sick, was in Dodge Correctional. He was in a pod for people with disabilities. He was in his own room or own cell, and that he was attending classes. He got out of his cell to go to classes, and remember, he was also the meat man. Remember, he was the meat man working in the kitchen. So he wasn't like isolated completely. He was out there doing things.
Chris Watts' mother, Cindy, releases new 2023 family photo after visiting her son in prison.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear.
Let's see what this guy has to say.
So, Chris Watts, the piece of shit that killed his whole family, weak little motherfucker, finally got just a little bit of a taste of what he's gonna get for the rest of his life. People ask me all the time when I go over other inmates and sick other demonic child killing chomo motherfuckers, and I say just wait, because what happens is security gets loose. The warden, the COs, everyone stops giving a fuck. How many people really care about what he's got going on? Probably writes a few creeps here and there, but in all reality, the only people really remembering is the family, the convicts, and obviously the COs. So what happened here, like I've said many a times, is time went by. In prison, time isn't the same as it is out here. Every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all we do is think, plot, strategize, just always, and you're always around a bunch of conniving, thieving, grimy motherfuckers, always looking for a come up. So it's only a matter of time until his ass was going to get caught. So they caught him going through reception. Now, reception is basically when you're either going to get transferred to another prison for good reasons, bad reasons. And, you know, everybody has to go through receptions because you got to like deal with classification. You know, you have to be stationed somewhere where they can review your file, your custody, make sure they're sending you to the right place. So I guess he was going somewhere for whatever reasons. And while he was there at receptions, which is the most dangerous time of your sentence, because you're with people that just got sentenced to 20, 40, 60, 80 years. Kids, 15 years old with 20, 30 year sentence. And you got guys with a year and a day and they mix them all together. So, you know, he probably landed in a spot and his name is literally for doing the most heinous shit imaginable. Killing 2 beautiful girls and his wife over another woman.
Gross.
It's sick. So either some people reached out and said, hey, we're going to have a drop on him, handle it when it goes down. Or it was just one of the spur of the moment things, because just because you're a convict, an inmate, and you did a lot of wrong, you still have a moral compass. When you see an evil motherfucker like that with no soul, no spirit, nothing, no pride, no dignity, something snaps in a man. Whether you're in prison and you got a year and a day or you got 1,000 years, once you have a chance to put your hands on a dude like that, you just, I don't know, something comes over you. You know, I believe in protecting our women, our children, our most vulnerable people of our society. So when I was on the inside, I felt like it was my duty for a long time. And yes, it got me in trouble. And yes, I would have been home a lot sooner. But I don't regret that shit one bit. Because that piece of shit thinks he's living it up, getting fan letters. Nah, that's just a taste of what you're going to get. So now he's going to feel just as vulnerable as those poor little girls did.
Okay, so this guy seems to think it happened. Let's see who he is. It's Viking Mindset 11. It sounds like this guy is going to say the same thing, that there was some, apparently, this is what I'm gathering, that there was some construction in the prison, and Chris was taken from his safe little pod and was moved to another part of the prison. And when you're moved to another part of the prison, you're put into, you have to go through this reception, and everyone's saying that the reception area is the most vulnerable part. That it could have been one of two things. That one, it was somebody that was a hit, an organized hit, and they knew he was going to be vulnerable, and they did it then. Or two, it was a crime of opportunity, which I tend to think it's the crime of opportunity. I don't think that, well, I don't know, but I would guess the crime of opportunity. Everything that I would think probably is not true in prison, because the guy just said it's like a different mentality. So, I mean, he could very well have had a hit. And the more I say that, the more sense it makes sense. That makes perfect sense as well. So I don't know. Let's see.
Solid information that this is true, but everyone is going crazy over the fact that apparently Chris Watts has been attacked in prison. Some people seem that they have at least the order of, his transfers and where he was and then where he went and what time, what year that he was at this prison and now this prison. And some people just have it all wrong, which, it leaves me not knowing what to believe. I mean, there's so many videos being made talking about, he's been attacked. And so because he's being attacked or got attacked, he's being transferred to another prison. Some people are saying this attack happened during some renovations that were taking place at the correctional facility he was at. And so they were having to move him elsewhere. And during that moving, either from that while he was still in that place getting ready to be moved, or once he arrived at the other prison, these TikTok videos. Again, I'm just bringing this to you right now. Unfortunately, I don't have any sources inside the Wisconsin state.
Okay, so he doesn't have any new information. He was just pointing out that the rumor mill is just running rampant. I don't know this channel 411 now. Chris Watts victim investigation underway. Let's see.
Behind bars. It doesn't matter if it's the county jail, the state prison, the federal prison system. It happens at every single level. It doesn't matter if it's a maximum security or if it's just your county lockup and there are only 10 to 15 individuals locked up at one time. It happens. And there are actual federal laws and systems in place for a victim or somebody who witnessed.
I have been so into watching these videos about people knowing their rights when police officers are trying to basically harass them. It's just not acceptable anymore for the police to harass people. So this might be one of those channels.
This is an actual sexual assault happened for it to be reported. It's called a PREA investigation, PREA investigation. And they look into every aspect of it. They come in and they try to interview the actual victim. They interview other people who.
But why is Chris Watts why is the R word being associated with Chris Watts? Because maybe I missed something, and I probably did. But why is his name being associated with that? Like, unless it happened to him.
May have seen it or heard it happen, and they then in Wisconsin. And it just happens to be,
Let's see.
Just such an investigation started at the Dodge Correction Center.
Ooh, interesting. Hold on, I got to see if I can stop the bird. Hey, baby, come here. Junebug. Junebug Kashi, come here. Come to mommy. Come on. Come on. He doesn't come to mommy. But when we do the T, I'm not going to say it, but it's the TREAT word training. He does. So anyway, getting back to this, what?
Center in Wisconsin. And it just happens to be the same housing unit that Christopher Watts is a member of and where he is currently housed. Now, he is in a protective custody housing unit, and this sexual assault happened in that actual housing unit. But the investigation got much, much larger from there as soon as they started to investigate the actual crime. It turned into a sexual assault investigation, and then it is led on to a physical assault and a theft from Dodge Correction Center. So now they're looking at 3 separate cases.
And
but Christopher Watts' name is the most important part. His name turns up on the investigation report for the theft.
Ooh, I've got to get this report. I hope this guy is legit.
Yes, as one of the possible inmates in that housing unit.
Have you guys heard of this? I mean, I feel like I've been completely out of it, that I didn't hear about this R word report / theft / assault, physical assault. Junie, come here. Come to mommy. I put the treats in your cage. Go get your treats. Has anyone else heard of this, that this happened?
They are now looking at him as possibly somebody who stole items from Dodge Correction Center's inventory. Did he do it?
What the heck does he need to steal for? He gets all probably money from...
He could be the assault victim. He could be...
Okay, I don't... This is a pretty good video. I don't...
Here I am, painting angels on my walls. Keep me company. holds some blue within its pretty walls, a little shade of you. Now it's another day, planting daisies in my backyard. They look so pretty